Hi, this is Debra Rubin-Roberts, founder of Mommy Makeup, and you're listening to me on That's Total Mom Sense.
There's a saying, necessity is the mother of invention. Well, it's also the mother of mommy makeup. After being a professional makeup artist for over 20 years, Debra Rubin-Roberts had the privilege to work for and with some of the best brands and talent in the beauty industry. But it was after becoming a mom that was the catalyst for Debra to develop her own makeup line, Mommy Makeup, clean beauty for busy women. She figured if she needed clean cosmetics that were fast and easy to use and gave makeup artist quality results, surely other women did too. The makeup is multitasking, so it saves time, money, and clutter, talc-free, so not drying, paraben-free, which won't upset your hormones, cruelty-free, so no animal testing, and certified with PETA's Beauty Without Bunnies program, non-comedogenic, won't clog pores, allergy tested to help prevent a reaction, and made in the USA, so you know that the ingredients are local and support our nation's economy. When you log on to the website, mommymakeup.com, click on free color consultation. Simply upload a no makeup selfie and the team will send you back a comprehensive email advising which products and colors best suit your skin tone. It takes the guesswork and swatching out of the process. I especially love the tinted brow gel in Warm Brunette, which has natural fibers to add fullness to my brows, and the Triple Sticks lipstick in Tess, a beautiful berry hue, which I also put on my cheeks for a natural hint of color. Everything Mommy Makeup does will save you time and money, yet will still make you feel and look the best. Log on to mommymakeup.com and take your free consult to get started. Use my code MOMSENSE, MOMSENSE, for 20% off your first order. Have fun and feel good about makeup again. Hi there, it's Kanika. Get ready for another season of That's Total Mom Sense, where I interview global thought leaders on their life stories, the legacy they're passing on to their kids, and of course, their mom sense and dad sense superpower.
It's me, Bobby Brown. Can't wait to share my story.
Hey, I'm Daphne Oz.
Hi, I'm Shawnee Darden.
Hi, this is Christelle Lynn.
Hi, I'm Bhavna Shyamalan.
Hi, this is Tony Leroy.
Hi, I'm Shannon Lee.
Hi, I'm Farnoosh Tarabi.
Hi, this is Michael Perry, founder of Maple, and you're listening to me on That's Total Mom Sense.
It's our mission to be inclusive, so we're having dads pull up a seat at the table. Tune in to my new monthly segment, What Matters Most with Maple, featuring my co-host, Michael Perry, tech founder and devoted father of two. Thank you to my brand partners, community, and you, yes, you, for making this podcast possible. Episodes release every Thursday. Join my tribe by logging on to thatstotalmomsense.com and subscribe wherever you listen so you never miss an episode. Only when I became pregnant with my twins did I start paying attention to the labels on my skincare and beauty products. The first thing I stopped using was Retin-A tretinoin in pregnancy because it can cause birth defects. And then I began noticing that even the clean beauty products I was using still had ingredients that I couldn't pronounce. Today, I'm featuring a woman who's been there, done that, and as a makeup artist, made it her mission to launch her own line called Mommy Makeup, the best beauty for busy women. Debra Rubin-Roberts is an award-winning makeup artist and New York City mom. She has over 20 years of experience as a professional makeup artist and has worked with some of the best in the cosmetic industry, including Bobbi Brown, Laura Mercier, NARS, Smashbox, Givenchy, Estee Lauder, and Prescriptives. Her work has been featured in various publications, including the Daily News, Avenue Magazine, and Manhattan Bride Magazine. Her clients include women and men of every ethnicity and celebrities, including Joan London, Rhea Perlman, and Denise Richards. In addition to being the founder of Mommy Makeup, Debra is a working makeup artist and works on studio shoots, fashion shows, including 7th on 6th, video, and television. Her work has appeared on 60 Minutes and CBS Sunday Morning. You may have also seen her on E! Entertainment and The Maury Povich Show. Although her passion is beauty, Debra's heart is committed to her daughters, husband, and sweet cats. Debra, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us about your career as a makeup artist? When did you start experimenting with makeup?
Color and design have been in my life since like birth. My mother, God rest her soul, was an interior designer, and my grandmother was a fur designer when in the 40s and 50s, when it wasn't chic to be a working mom. My grandmother was. So I grew up with color and design and everything around me all the time. And then when I was in college, I took stage makeup as part of my courses. And after I graduated, for a very long time, I had two careers. I'd work as an actress and also as a makeup artist. I'd do a show. I would do makeup for someone's headshots for one of my cast members. The photographer would like what I would do. They would hire me for other things. Then I also got into working with brands. Then I had my first daughter. I didn't want to be doing any more acting. I stopped. And I just was one of those people where moms would ask me, I joined this like new moms group. And they would like all ask me, like, I have no time to do my makeup anymore. How do you do it? You're a makeup artist. What's the deal?
What's your secret?
And, yeah. So I got a lot of that. And that, eventually led to Mommy Makeup.
Awesome. And, you've worked with a slew of brands. What were some of your key learnings when you were, involved in that space?
Brands, so this was like in the 90s and the early 2000s. And then brands very much were into fashion. So like if you saw it on the runway, they thought that it should be out there for everybody. Yeah. And it was very intimidating, I found, to a lot of people. I would do their makeup and they would like be like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to wear navy blue eyeshadow, smoky eye to go pick up my kindergartner. And the whole process had like this mystique and this very intimidating kind of feel to it. And one of the things I always did and started to do and still do is I try to make it easier and simpler for people to understand. I always use analogies. I would say to my clients, you would not walk out of your house wearing pink earrings, an orange necklace, a green belt, and a blue handbag. But you would be surprised. You would see women wearing like coral blush and pink lipstick. So right. I would always try to explain to them that makeup is like an accessory. Think of it as your jewelry. Think of it as like your handbag and your belt. You want to try to match your belt with your shoes. So coming up with analogies to take all the mystique away. Yes, that was a big thing that I did.
I feel like as consumers, we are way more discerning. And when you're a parent, even more so, because we're already reading the labels for our kids and what we're feeding them and what we're putting on their skin, which is our largest organ. And so, you being an insider, you've seen the regulations and the very toxic ingredients that go into cosmetics. And a lot of times we're duped. They're touted as clean or organic, but they're not. So can you tell us about that? And what are, some of the things we should look out for when it comes to marketing and not buy into it?
I've always had very sensitive skin. Like when I was a kid, I'd wear a mohair sweater and I'd get a rash. So that kind of like was something that always was very important to me. And I was always very conscious of what's in what I'm putting on my skin. I'm not a big fan of the ingredient talc. I always say talc is a 4-letter word. It scratches the skin. It's drying. There's been all of these claims and research shown that no matter how refined the talc is, asbestos has been coming up in it. And then that, and the whole Johnson & Johnson baby powder thing and all of that. So I try to avoid talc at all costs. And so when I got this idea to create Mommy Makeup, I wanted the whole line to be talc free. And I also wanted it to be paraben free. Paraben is usually a preservative, but it's been shown that paraben can cause like hormonal changes or doesn't always affect the hormones in a good way. So make everything paraben free as well.
And then it was really your aha moment after you became a mom that you came up with the concept, right? It was,
yes,
in your mommy group and you thought, you know what, I could do this.
My older daughter was probably about 3 weeks old. And my mom was staying with us to help out a little bit because I was still getting the hang of being a new mom. And she said, go out to dinner. And she goes, go get dressed. And I went into our bathroom and I tried to put my makeup on, and I had 13 products in front of me, each with its own brush. At the time, before I had my daughter, I was working at Bobbi Brown, and I loved Bobbi's products and I loved the look, but there were too many products, too many brushes, and too many steps just to get your basic polished look. And that night, I think I just threw on mascara and ran out the door. And so that was like the aha moment where I'm like, I'm going to have to figure out a way how to pare this down, because I like looking the way I looked when I had makeup on. But like you said, I joined this mommy group and they're all asking me, how do I do this? My kid's napping for an hour and a half and I barely have time to like unload the dishwasher or put on my makeup, and I have to choose which. And the makeup process shouldn't have to be that long. You should be able to do both, unload the dishwasher and put your makeup on. Right. So between my going out to dinner moment and being in the mom group, that was the aha moment that gave me the spark to develop Mommy Makeup. And like that was the catalyst for naming the brand Mommy Makeup, because it was becoming a mom that led to that.
Tell us some of the key products.
Everything multitasks so that you can, rather than using 13 products, you can do it basically in 6. One of the most popular and my favorite is probably what we call Mommy's Little Helper Concealer, because it is an under eye concealer. It's a face cover up. If you're wearing a powder eyeshadow, you can use it on your lid, or if you don't want to wear eyeshadow, it just brightens your lid up. It's talc free, it's paraben free. You can use it many different ways. You could use it. You can do what I call spot concealing, where you just use it with a blender, a teardrop blender sponge, and use it all over your face. So it's a very versatile product. So that's one of my most favorites.
Yes. And I mean, as moms and parents, we are sleep deprived. And I think the first thing we want to cover up is the under eye circles.
Yeah.
And so this is our best friend. What are some of your favorites? Because I know I'm going to share mine.
There's a newer product that's become a big favorite of mine. It's called Powder Perfect Color. It comes in a little compact with a flip cap, and you can use it as eyeshadow, as blush, but you could also even take a little on your finger and pat it on and use it as lip color. I'm actually wearing that right now on my eyes, my cheeks, and my lips. The thing I also love about them, they're very wearable and they work on like all skin tones. It'll look different on every skin tone. Like it might look more muted on a deeper complexion and more brighter on a lighter complexion, but it works on all complexions, and it comes in 5 colors. And the color I have on now is called Peach Tartlet.
And you've been mindful of being inclusive. I mean, we're 2 different skin tones. Mine is more wheatish. And tell us about that range so that you really are serving every face.
We try our best to go from the lightest of the light to a much deeper complexion. We have a range of 5 shades, but because the shades, and again, they're no talc, so they don't leave any of that whitish pigment on the skin. I wear our mineral dual powder in the lightest shade called, the lightest shade is Baby's Breath. So I wear the second lightest called Lullaby. But Lullaby has a big range to it, where someone who's even a little lighter than me or even a little deeper than I am can still wear Lullaby, because it kind of blends in with your own skin tone and your body chemistry.
I'm going to share some of my favorites, and thank you so much for spoiling me. It's the eyebrow tint, and it has microfibers that add like a natural fullness to my eyebrows. I love it. The color is spot on. It's just a warm brunette, and it melds in with my dark brown, blackish eyebrows perfectly. I like your paddle blender. It's really small, and the brush bristles are so soft.
All the brush bristles are vegan. Everything is cruelty free. There's no animal testing. They're made of like this Japanese silk fiber combination. So they really give maximum performance, but like you said, they feel very soft in the skin. Little tip with your brow tint in between your hair. I don't know if you color your hair or not. If you start getting the little like grays and stuff, you can use it like right there on the roots to color in the grays too.
Nice hack. Yeah, that's great. And then I also love the mineral jewel powder. It's great. And then the kabuki that comes with it and the little holder. It's a big pet peeve of mine because I'm super clean, organized. And the fact that we're keeping the brush separate and in the little kabuki holder is key so that there's not powder all over your makeup bag after that.
True. With the little bag that it comes in, we nickname that the kabagi.
Oh, I love it.
The kabuki goes in the kabagi.
Yeah, that is so cute. And then the last thing I want to share is Tess. This is a triple stick, and I love that the color is a beautiful berry color. I know it's going to appear different on various skin tones, but this is something that I use on my lips and my cheeks. And it's just a quick dab, 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 and go.
We shot some video this week of new triple stick colors we're coming out with. And shooting the videos, I like to do my own makeup in the videos because I always say to people, you won't finish your makeup unless you know how to use it. So we have all these video tutorials where I put on my own makeup and explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and how I'm doing it so that everyone knows how to use their own makeup.
That's
and we shot a bunch of these videos and it reminded me like, oh, wow, I do like triple sticks a lot.
And one thing that's very unique to the brand is that you do a free color consultation. And I think this is brilliant. I remember going with my mom to the prescriptives and the Clinique counter and getting it done in person. You know, it was a process, but we're in a completely different age now where, you know, we don't have the time. We're strapped for time. We're busy. We don't go to makeup counters to purchase our makeups anymore. And so we just want something that's going to arrive at our doorstep and be the right shade. And so you've automated all that where all you have to do is upload a selfie, hopefully a non-makeup selfie, so you can see this blank canvas of any client. And then you just advise them on the shades that they should buy, right?
Yeah, this whole thing started, we call your free color consultation, or we also nickname it Send Us Your Selfie, but it really is a free color consultation. It started because we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, return and exchange policy. And we started getting a lot of exchanges as the brand was growing because sometimes people look at themselves in the mirror and they'll think, oh, I'm a medium, and they order medium when they're really not, they're light medium. If I could see, and if our team could see our clients' faces, then we could suggest the appropriate product and the appropriate shade because we know how the products work on the skin.
Right.
And everyone's skin is a little different, you know, your body chemistry, if you're an oily skin, if you're a dry skin, if you take a lot of vitamin C, all those things affect how your skin accepts the color. So if we could look at you with no makeup on, then we could suggest what would be the best fit for you in the color, in the product that you're interested in. Exactly. And then we said, well, you know, it's a little bit of a little bit of a job or a little bit of work to take your selfie and, you know, email it into us or send it to us through Messenger. So in return, we give you a $10 gift card after you get your selfie. We look at your selfie. We then suggest the shades that are appropriate for you. And we give you a few options. We'll give you like 3 or 4 choices because some people might say, oh, I'm not a big fan of, you know, an apricot color. Oh, but this rose color would work. So they could have choices. And we send back the info. And then at the end of the email, we give you a link to go and get your $10 gift card that you can use towards your order.
You are also very categorically made in the USA. So tell us about that. Most cosmetics aren't made in the USA, are they?
Not really. A lot of them are made overseas, and certain countries have strict regulations about cosmetics and skincare and personal care products, and other countries don't have very strict guidelines and regulations. So for us, we wanted to make it made in the USA because this way we know what's in the product. If there's a problem, if, you know, there's a batch that, you know, is exposed to too much heat during shipping or something, and this way we can fix it here at home. And we also feel like we want to be able to support the economy and everybody who works in our country's economy. And this is a big, important part of our mission. Certain countries like Korea, Thailand, Germany, France, Italy, products that are made there, those countries have even stricter guidelines than the US does. But if you see something that says made in PRC, People's Republic of China, I don't care what it is, if it's going on your skin or on your face, that's just personally me. I would steer away from that.
So tell us about a mom sense moment that you've had. And by that, I mean a time that you trusted that built-in sixth sense that we get when we're parents, and why you felt like, I'm going to follow my intuition with this one.
Something that stands out to me in particular, my younger daughter, when she was born, her hips were like crazy flexible. I took her to the, when you go through a diaper change, her legs would be like she was doing a split practically. Oh. And I took her to the doctor and I said, I think she may have hip dysplasia. And they're like, no, she doesn't have hip dysplasia after they examined her, but her hips are very, very loose. And then sure enough, as she gets older, and then we're not talking a couple months come by, and she's not actually crawling on all fours. She's doing like the army commando crawl. Mm-hmm. And I said, I bet you this is related to her hips. And so she was a late crawler. And then when they start pulling themselves up, she's pulling herself up, but she's not walking. It's now 15 months and she should be walking on her own. And she's not. She's kind of cruising and holding on to stuff, but she's not walking on her own. So we'll go back to the pediatrician, and her hips were so flexible that they kept flipping back when she would stand up. And so that she needed to be able to tuck her pelvis under in order to be able to walk. That was her hips weren't hypermobility. That's what she had. She has hypermobility in her hips. She went for physical therapy from when she was like 15 months to about 2 years and 11 months. And then she was walking great. She didn't need physical therapy anymore. And now she's a toddler. And so to keep her active, I said, oh, well, she's really flexible. Maybe she would like gymnastics. And we put her in gymnastics, and she took to it like a fish took to water. And to this day, she is still a competitive gymnast.
What are some of the lessons that you're passing on to your daughters?
Big thing, I think, is empathy, trying to get them to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, especially I think when they're little. You try to explain to them, this is how you feel, but think about maybe how the other person who you were dealing with in this situation felt.
Let's not forget our quote of the day.
And is there a quote that you live by?
Oh, there are a few. Necessity is the mother of invention, because like I always say, that was the mother of invention, and that's the mother of mommy makeup too. The fact that I needed something faster and quicker and easier that had clean ingredients that gave makeup artist quality results. That was the catalyst to creating the line and for calling it mommy makeup. And then my favorite, one of the favorite quotes of mine, Coco Chanel always said, beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. And I just, fashion's fashion. Runway is not reality. You have to do what works for you. I always say when you feel good, you look good. So you have to do physically, mentally what feels good for you. And if you look in the mirror and you feel you look good, then your whole day and the way you go through your whole day and present yourself to the rest of the world, you're going to feel happier doing that.
It's now time for Mom Haul, when we share products we love.
Is there a product or a hack that you can share with us that you're loving right now?
I'm a big fan of concealer. I love our Mommy's Little Help concealer, but I'm also a big fan of eye cream, not eye gel. I find that gel always kind of leaves the skin around the eyes kind of like tacky feeling, but cream absorbs and gives hydration. And I'm loving this from a Korean brand, Mizan, I think. And it is the snail repair eye cream. And the snail extract, or this the secretion has tons of hyaluronic acid in it. And what hyaluronic acid does, it helps bind moisture to the skin. So, and this just happens naturally in the snail extract. So there's a lot of snail extract in the eye cream. And so it really binds moisture to the skin. Another key point when you're looking at your ingredient list, the order that the ingredients are in is the concentration in the product. So I always hate when I look at a skincare product and it'll say contains avocado oil, and avocado oil is the fourth to last ingredient. If it can, you're saying it contains avocado oil should be like one of the first 10 ingredients. So this Mizan eye cream, the snail extract, is like the second ingredient. So it has a lot of that. It's natural and it gives a lot of moisture to the skin. Another product I love is this thing I found on Amazon, because people don't clean. I am as guilty as anybody about this. I clean my brushes for work when I'm doing my clients. I come home after I help a client. I clean all my brushes. But the brushes I use on myself, I'm guilty of not cleaning them enough. So there's this little machine. It kind of has it's not a machine. It has like a fishbowl with like a handle, and it's an electronic handle, and you stick the brush onto the handle and you fill the fishbowl with sudsy water and you swish your brush around and you lift it up a little bit so it's just outside the water, and you press the button and it swirls around and it dries the brush super fast, and it takes cleaning your makeup brushes like 5 minutes instead of having to wait for them to dry overnight. So that's another product.
Amazing. I love it. Now, where can my listeners find you and Mommy Makeup?
mommymakeup.com. And makeup has no spaces, no dashes, just mommymakeup, all one word.com. We're also on Amazon, big seller on Amazon. I still do clients all the time. I got the idea of having my own website for clients when I was a bride. So it's bridalmakeupny.com. And, I do socialites and weddings and all of that as well. But for products that Mommy Makeup uses and offers, mommymakeup.com.
That's wonderful. And I want to share that we are offering a code, and it's MomSense, MOMSENSE, and that is for 20% off. And so redeem that and, start with your personal color consultation where you get all these recommended products to start. And then you can just go through the process. And I know you'll be a believer just like I am. Debra, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your story through motherhood and helping us simplify our makeup routine.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Were you like me and just wanting to do your makeup as you were listening to the episode? I love that Debra came up with the concept for Mommy Makeup. The products are really wonderful. And the names, she has a powder called Rested, and there are hues like Lullaby. So they're reminiscent of your motherhood journey. And they're great that they have dual application. So I love the triple sticks. I use it as a lipstick and a blush. And I also love their tinted brow gel because of the microfibers, and they make my brows really full and naturally darker. Log on to mommymakeup.com and use my code MOMSENSE, MOMSENSE, for 20% off your first order. And you can browse around the products. I'm sure you're going to find something that you love. Thanks again to Debra and to Asa for making this partnership happen. This was super, super fun. And if you haven't already, subscribe, rate, and review my show. You can log on to thatstotalmomsense.com/iTunes, and you'll be directed to my Apple Podcasts profile. You can click on this episode and review it and tell us how you liked it. If you have suggestions for show topics or guests that should be on That's Total Mom Sense, just email me at thatstotalmomsense@gmail.com. And you can follow me on social. My handle is @Kanika Chadda Gupta. And I'm posting some fun stuff on Instagram about mommy makeup and more. Remember, always trust your mom sense and dad sense. Stay strong, super parents. I'll see you next time.
That's Total Mom Sense.